Hello everyone and welcome back to another album review. And in this video I'm going to review Fine Line by Harry Styles. This is the second album of Harry Styles, who was mostly known being one of the members of the boy band One Direction. Now One Direction was a band that people would love to hate. I never got into their stuff. I don't think they would be all that impressive. On the other hand, I don't really see all that negativity and all this hate. Now, almost each one of the members of One Direction, they have taken their solo direction. Out of all the solo efforts, the one from Harry Styles seemed to be the best one, the one that wouldn't necessarily go that much into the trends of modern pop music, which is something that seemed to be the case with artists like Saint, for example. The direction Harry Styles took with his debut was not like something revolutionary for pop or rock music. However, I was quite surprised with the amount of positive feedback it took, and when I heard the debut I would never expect I would like this album as much as I did. I really liked Harry Styles' self-titled debut. I think it was a great album combining some really nice and beautiful elements of pop and rock, and Sign of the Times is a great hit in my opinion. So Fine Line is his follow-up 2 years later, an album that I didn't really know what to expect, and I like how he still keeps to push forward with some quite nice ideas. This album over here is even more versatile. It goes into a lot of different styles, and it's something that I like for its most part. There is blue-eyed soul, indie pop, indie rock, all of those genres combined in a really nice blend of different sounds. There is also a bit of an 80s throwback, especially with the track Adore You. Definitely one of my favorite moments. I like its chorus. I think it's a really catchy and quite beautiful song. The album also makes a great introduction with the track Golden, also another track that has a beautiful chorus to it, and in general great melodies, a great opener. So with that being said, it makes Watermelon Sugar a track that, as far as it's a bit catchy, I don't really see it as a single for the album. I think that Golden would be more appropriate. It's a far more memorable and catchy song. What I don't really get though is Lights Up as a main single. In fact, I would say that it's possibly one of my least favorite moments in the album. No matter how many times I would listen to it, I don't really see the appeal on this track. It's a bit of a mess actually. It's a bit all over the place in such a short period of time, and I'm not really left with something that manages to intrigue me. Also, what is easily my least favorite moment is the track Cherry. It's an acoustic ballad that it's just so boring and forgettable. I'm usually not a fan with these acoustic ballads being in the track listing. Usually they're just average at best, and that's definitely the case with the track Cherry. And Falling, even though it has a plain and sort of bland piano instrumental, I think vocally wise it has one of the greatest performances of Harry Styles, and at least it has a bit of a more memorable chorus. So at this point I was a bit worried that the album would just go into this direction, it would be just more mellow and we wouldn't have the catchiness from the very first tracks, but fortunately this is not that much the case, even though there are some tracks that are quite average with their guitar playing or their guitar sound, like with the tracks To Be So Lonely and Sunflower Volume 6. The tracks could have been better, but for what they are by themselves, they have a nice structure and some really memorable choruses to them. But where the album truly picks up on the second half is with the tracks See and Fine Line, the finisher of the album. These are the two longest tracks of the album, going for 6 minutes long each, And the main thing that makes this track so good is their build-up. I like how the tracks get more beautiful and more epic as they progress. This is the main thing that made Sign of the Times such a great single in my opinion, and I really like that this keeps being the case with some of the tracks in this new album. I like that Harry Styles keeps pushing into this sort of structure in his songs, and it makes for two of his best moments in the album. She is a really smooth and groovy blues rock track with a really nice build up that goes into a great guitar solo at the second part. Then the track Fine Line, even though it starts really slow, when it picks up it offers one of the best choruses of the album and a great horn section at the second half. Then there are also the tracks Canyon Moon and Treat People with Kindness in the track listing, two tracks that are just okay and decent. The main tracks that I didn't really like about the album was Lights Up and Cherry. The rest of the album is actually really good, and this is another solid pop album from Harry Styles. And it's nice to see that Harry Styles didn't fall off and instead he offered a nice follow-up. This is definitely a more versatile album with more variations, going into lots of different styles and genres. Some of them work in its favor, others not as much, but this is still a solid pop album for this year. I'm going to give Fine Line a 7 minus out of 10. What's your opinion on this album? Like it, dislike it, why, and what do you want me to review next time? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.